It is crazy. It
So
is crazy watching Raquel and Tom just in general. It's wild. Like, oh my God, Raquel should be an actress. What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. I'm back. Ooh, that was creepy.
That was a little creepy.
Thank you to
You were never really that far gone.
No, I wasn't. Kelly Keegs took over on Wednesday because I think that people appreciate a non-Zoom interview. Not interview, just podcast in general.
Yeah.
And I was in
Which
Florida.
you're a real stickler for.
Non-Zoom.
Yeah.
Well, I think the quality is a lot better.
It is.
So
not even just the quality, it's just like
obviously
the chemistry of
the
like
chemistry being in person,
Yeah.
and like obviously on Monday we had the Vanderpump, so we had to do that over Zoom. But I think that the podcasts in person are a lot better.
It is. I just think every once in a while, if we need to do it, it'll be okay.
Of course. But I also was like, you know what? Why not mix it up once in a while? And we had the barber interview. So I was like, you know what, Kelly Keegs, you do your thing, girl. I was in Florida, which was lovely. It was beautiful. How about you guys? How's your week going?
My week has been good. I haven't done Wednesday was a busy day for me. But it's funny because I just feel like, when you're not here, I'm just lost. Like, I'm just like,
You're
I wasn't,
lost without me?
I was just like kind of in my apartment. Joe's like, you going to work? I'm like, no. He's like, can you get out of here? I'm trying to work. It's like, I was like, I don't have anywhere to be without you here.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. Wow.
I was like, yeah, I mean, when I was like, yeah, I'm recording with Kelly, but I'm just gonna come home. Like,
You didn't text me that you missed me.
When do I ever do that?
You don't. That's why
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
Noah, how about you? No text from you that you missed me?
I mean, we
I'm
text
kidding.
like all day
I
long
know.
every day.
I'm kidding. just Josh
How
and
was Norman?
guys. Norman was so freaking cute. And
You speak to anybody on the other side while you were down there?
honestly, every time my mom walked out of the room and she came back in, I'd be like, you just missed it. He just talked.
Yeah.
Every time. She's like, what? And then, oh, you're kidding. Like, I got her every time. But I wasn't going to say this because everyone's going to be like, you always have. Whenever there's something going around, I catch it. I catch it. My immune system is not strong. I had the stomach virus the whole time I was in Florida. It was fucking awful. But it was still nice because I was able to like sit in the sun, and then like, when I was sick, it was whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, of course I have the stomach virus right now.
Well, hopefully you're feeling better.
I do
now,
feel a bit
which
better,
is good
yeah.
because we're going into the weekend. We want that Friday energy. We're gonna have it with
We're
Proper
gonna have
Wild.
Friday energy with Proper Wild. Thanks to Proper Wild, you get that Friday energy all day long, clean all day energy. Whether you take that in the morning, whether it's a long day, it's a late night. Proper
I'm gonna
Wild.
try the apple right now.
You've
Apple?
tried the apple
The apple
already.
is
You love
delicious.
the apple, but the apple
I
is
was gonna
underrated.
Say deja vu. He just did this.
Yeah,
No,
he
I
just
know,
did this,
and
but he's gonna have one.
I was in
'cause-
the studio the other day and I just popped an apple open. Like, it tastes good.
Yeah, pop an
Yeah.
apple shot, and you're gonna
The
go to John
apples are-
Mayer tonight.
Apples are delish.
Go to properwild.com/Barstool. You get 30% off your order. Thanks to Proper Wild. Try it out. Get that energy. Noah loves the apple. There's strawberry kiwi. There's lemon lime. There's mango. So many different flavors. So you gotta like one of them.
Absolutely. Good way to get you the juices flowing, that Friday energy. Noah did just pull the plug and he's going to a John Mayer event, I would say. There's a bunch of other artists
Hey,
performing.
but James Taylor,
Yeah.
like legend.
Yeah.
Gary Clark Jr.,
Yeah.
Sheryl Crow.
It's a great, hey, I told you, it's a lot
nice
of really
lineup.
good
And,
people.
Yeah, I just pulled the trigger. I'm going next week as well.
Yeah. So am I.
Yeah, but I gotta see my guy whenever I can.
It's dedication right
Just
there.
make sure he knows it, that you're here.
Yeah.
That is some strong dedication.
I went to watch Georgetown play in the Big East tournament Wednesday night,
Oh yeah.
which was, I love going to the Big East tournament. It's just fun. It's a fun environment. And, it's more like a social event because, God, they're so bad. It's just terrible. It's
Speaking
really
of Big
bad.
East,
It's
well,
so
no, they're not the
embarrassing.
Big East, but Jim Boeheim.
Yeah, he retired.
I don't get. Is he done like immediately? Where like the season isn't over? Like is he?
Well, they're still playing.
I know, but
right?
the way that I didn't really look into it, but the way I saw it, it seems like he's just done. Like he's not finishing the season.
No, that would.
So why would they announce it now? I was like,
Well, because that's like you roll out the red carpet for somebody that's retiring. It's
I
like
guess, yeah.
Coach K did that. I was like,
I always-
everyone knew it was his last season, so I was like, oh, every game is a massive game.
Listen, I went to Syracuse. I always thought he was a little overrated, you know.
I have something to add to the college basketball conversation.
Yeah.
So
I'd imagine you watch a lot of college
I
basketball.
do. Not, by choice,
yeah.
but I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I enjoy
This
getting
is a
to
fun
know
time.
it.
This
It
is
is
a fun time. March is
So,
fun for the
you know
college
how I
basketball.
went
You
to
should do a
the,
bracket.
the Michigan.
We'll have a team
Yeah.
for the
Oh,
busters.
yeah.
Yeah. You know how I went to the Michigan Rutgers game?
Yes.
Not last week, but the week before.
Yes.
Was it last week? I don't remember.
No,
when.
it was like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Marty does the podcast with Hunter Dickinson. And so Marty told me to take notes on things as I was watching that he was going to relay to Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, why is he wearing a t-shirt? Like, apparently when he plays away, he wears a t-shirt under his jersey, and when he plays at home, he doesn't.
Yeah.
But I was like, he's really giving kid who wears shirt in the pool vibes with
Yeah,
this
yeah,
t-shirt
that's-
under
yeah.
his jersey. Like, it's not a cool look.
Yeah.
And so
What was your one thing to tell him?
I wrote that down, and Marty relayed that to him. He has not worn a t-shirt since underneath.
What was his reasoning for wearing it at the away game?
I don't know. It was just a thing he did, and he has not worn a t-shirt underneath since. And
They
I was
just
like,
lost.
oh my God. I know they just lost too.
Do you think you got him out of his fucking groove?
His
You just
points are
ended
down.
the Michigan.
No,
you
they
just
had a tough
ended
season.
You just ended Michigan's
Listen,
college basketball season. You got in his head.
From what I've heard, they've had a tough
They
season.
have, but you got in his head.
And I couldn't believe that I had
Did they
that much
win-
of an influence.
Did they win that game against Rutgers?
They
when you
did.
went? And they just lost to Rutgers in their
No,
Big
but
Ten
no,
tournament.
but it's okay. It's okay because he had won another time when he wasn't.
Well, I'm
wearing that
just
shirt.
saying he won. He beat Rutgers. He beat Rutgers when he didn't know
Don't put
your
this on.
criticism.
Don't put this evil on me. Don't put this evil on me.
He beat Rutgers when he didn't know about this criticism.
Don't
and then
put-
he just lost to Rutgers.
Don't put this evil on me.
knowing about
But Marty told me that the other day. He goes, he hasn't worn a shirt since you've since I've said that. And I was like,
called him a dweeb.
yeah, I was like, wow, the influence I have on college basketball is insane. Who knows? Who knows if it was me or not?
And who
but-
knows? Maybe they'd be moving on to the next round in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, but that was my college basketball analysis. But yeah, I've had to watch
Yeah.
a lot of.
No, college basketball
Basketball.
it's so fun to watch at this time. Yeah, Patrick Ewing he's gonna get fired too. Like it's just a bad scene.
What?
Is this a college basketball podcast?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Jim Boeheim.
It's in my mind.
Yeah, I mean it's been a long run. He was the
been a
coach when
long-
my mom went to Syracuse, and he was the coach when I was there.
He was a coach for nearly like 50
Yeah.
years. So
People-
long,
yeah.
so long.
don't
But
know
yeah,
who that
I
is.
think
Wait,
that
you don't know who
ends.
Jim
that-
Boeheim is?
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
why would she? Like
You know he murdered someone a couple years ago by accident.
that's
Hairy subject.
yeah. That was like a car accident, right?
Yeah, he coached the next night.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Well,
right,
that took a
this
dark turn,
took a
and
real
that wraps
turn.
up the conversation on college basketball. Let's move on
And
to
we
something
are
else.
your podcast for all things college basketball. Well,
I'm
anyway,
excited for today. Miley Cyrus has a new album coming out.
I am really excited too. My dad and I were discussing Miley Cyrus this week because my dad was like, I think that kid is one of the most talented people
That
out there. And I
kid.
was like, you know what, Dad? Strongly agree.
Yeah, she
and then
is.
we were just watching videos of her fucking singing rock
Yeah.
songs because she's awesome and that'll be really fun. I'm excited.
I do feel like dads really love her, and like not in a creepy way. Like I'm not saying that, but
Yeah.
like she has like that kind of like rock and roll voice that when
Oh.
dads hear it, they're like, yeah,
my dad
good singer.
He loves rock and roll, and
Yeah.
he just loves a really good singer like that.
My
And
dad had that
She
moment
has
with
that like
Fergie.
rasp.
Fergie?
There was Fergie, like you think of Fergie, you think like pop singer.
Yeah.
And then she did, I don't know who it was. This was years ago. I don't know. She performed it at the
Star
Rock and
Spangled
Roll
Banner.
Hall of Fame, like induction thing when they had to do the night of like the music. She performed with, I don't know who, but like a band, an rock band. And she just like, as my dad said, went off. And just ever since then, he was
been a
like,
Fergie
I
fan?
fucking love Fergie.
The Rolling Stones.
Okay. It
Oh,
was with
yeah,
the Rolling
that'll do
Stones.
it.
That'll do it. I probably should have remembered that. And my dad had it saved on our DVR for like 10 years.
And U2.
The whole
U2,
thing- oh,
Rolling
maybe
Stones,
U2.
and Fergie.
Oh,
Not
that's
all
good.
together. Separately?
It says U2 with Mick Jagger. Oh, U2 with Mick Jagger and Fergie.
Okay. or no wonder my dad fucking loves you too. So it's right up his alley. No, but it was on the DVR for like 10 years, and he would go back and watch it. Yeah,
my dad had that with Adam Lambert and Adam Lambert's performances for American
Adam
Idol
Lambert.
with DVR, and we were like, "Is Dad gay?" Because he would replay this. He would replay every Adam Lambert performance every week throughout the rest of the week. He would fucking
Adam Lambert.
Just DVR. Go back to Adam Lambert's performances.
I mean, that guy can sing.
We were like,
that guy can sing.
Dad's trying to
when
tell us
Adam
something.
Lambert does the Queen covers, woo.
I can like remember a lot of the songs that Adam Lambert did because of the amount of times my dad like my dad did not Adam Lambert did Ring of Fire, and he had like a cool like fire thing.
Yeah,
I fell into a burning.
He did that
ring
on American
of fire.
Idol, right?
Yes, on
I
American
remember,
Idol.
Yeah. I actually really remember
he
that.
did. I think Tears of a Clown, maybe.
Yeah. Did your dad go see him when he performed in Vegas?
No, but I bet he wishes he did.
My dad saw him in Vegas, I think.
Really? Yeah. My dad was
and was
Adam
like, this guy
Lambert's
is fucking awesome.
number one fan during American Idol. But he didn't win.
No.
He should have won.
No.
Who won that year?
I wonder. I don't remember who won.
You know who I love
year.
from American Idol? Ruben Studdard. Remember that guy?
That's a deep.
Well, that's early. That was really early on. Season
David Cook.
Season 8. Chris Allen won that season.
Oh
No
my
idea.
God. It definitely should have gone Adam Lambert.
I mean, it's the same thing as like fucking Taylor Hicks. Like,
Same
it
thing.
was
but here's
like,
the thing. Yeah, America was voting.
Yeah. It was
God,
just-
American Idol back then was so good.
It was.
American Idol was appointment TV.
Yeah,
It was.
We would go.
Every
We would go to
week.
our neighbor's house for like finale parties when they would get to the end.
So we put on American Idol the other night, me and Marty, because we were like, is it, maybe
Right.
it's still good.
Yeah.
No.
No. Every singer was good. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it just doesn't.
But also, like,
it doesn't hit the
you
same.
need a Simon. You need someone
You
who's
need
mean.
somebody, yeah.
Yeah, and I also just think there's so many other competition shows that have surpassed it. Like for me, The Voice is just so much better.
Yeah, American
just-
Idol.
But, like,
just
who
has
are the
same-
judges on American Idol? Katy Perry.
Katy Perry, Lionel
Luke
Richie,
Bryan.
and
And they're
Luke
all just too
Bryan.
nice, like, right?
Yeah, but they just change. That's just the way. Like the shows just change. Like they don't bring out the really bad singers anymore.
Oh, they don't have like the first week of like
No, they do.
No, they do,
do.
but,
We
like,
watched
they
the
don't-
first episode, and it was back to back to back to back good singers.
They
that,
don't
like,
do
were,
like bad people.
Yeah, it was like okay, like they're not gonna make it, but they're not bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't the same.
Oh,
you need the
no.
people. She bangs. She
Yeah, they're not
bangs.
bringing in the people who are like shrieking and
Yeah.
and they're like that. And Simon Cowell's like that was the worst thing I've
That's-
ever heard in my life. Like they don't do that anymore.
I'll do
Mary
that occasionally.
Gilbo.
Throw it on the TV like old Simon Cowell like ripping people apart. So fun to watch.
A video out there.
It's kind of bizarre.
Sorry, I'm tripping over
Oh,
my
no,
words.
it's so funny.
No, it is funny. I'm tripping over my words a little bit, but Mary Gilbo, search that on YouTube. It's one of
think
the
I know which one
funniest
you're
American
talking
Idol auditions. It's very funny.
They were very good.
That theme song brings me back to like 2004.
Right, and you're just like on your couch
Yeah.
watching it. Those were good times. All right, let's get into the rest of the show. We have the weekly watch report. We are going to be going over some topics, a lot of repetitive topics this
Yeah.
week, but some updates that we got. We're going to be talking about some Vanderpump updates. Allegedly, the Kardashians are not invited to the Met Gala, but allegedly that's also not true. Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner were seen kissing.
Getting close.
Getting close, and Cara Delevingne is now sober. She's talking a lot about those pictures that came out a while ago that everyone was a little concerned about. And
One more thing.
one more thing, which is the end of the show segment where we talk about one more thing this week. So let's get into it, starting off with Weekly Watch Report. Welcome back to the Weekly Watch Report, where we talk about all the things we watched this week. Weekly Watch Report. Weekly Watch Report. Weekly Watch Report. Weekly Watch Report. Coming to you
What'd you got?
to give
Anything?
you that Weekly Watch Report. You guys go first.
Oh, okay. I'll go first. I started Perfect Match. I'm like 7 episodes in. I haven't finished it yet. How many did you watch?
One, but I want to watch
Oh.
the rest.
Okay. So it's messy for sure. Messy show. I don't necessarily love it. I don't necessarily hate it. It's just kind of like it's bad that I can't look away kind of situation. I don't know what it is about specifically the Netflix reality show stars, I don't really like any of them. Like, they all kind of annoy me. So you put them all on one show and I'm just like, oh, there's just a group of people that I don't really enjoy watching. Like, I'm not really rooting for anybody.
I agree with that.
I'm just like, so I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about it. But it's once I got to, I would say, episode 3, it kind of was like addicting. And then I was flying through them.
Those shows they're so bad that you can't look away.
Exactly. And now I'm on 7. I would give it like a D plus.
I rated the first episode an F, so
Yeah.
that's not too far off. And gonna let you know, I'm not gonna watch it then. If you're giving it a D plus,
but like, this is the thing. It's a D plus because it's not good, but it's good. Like, it's addicting. Like, I'm still watching and I want to know how it ends.
so you think I should
Like,
watch or no?
This is why I'm like, I want to talk about it. I still think you should watch. Because it is like dramatic and juicy
all the
and
drama.
messy.
I'm seeing all the drama, but
Yeah.
for me, everyone's so past it now. 'Cause
No, I know. That's why
it was
weird,
filmed
yeah.
so long ago
Yeah.
that
But it's still, in the moment, it's still good.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I'm still like, it is funny because I'm like, why am I thinking about Francesca and Damien? Didn't we watch them on that Love is Blind fucking reunion show like years ago? Like, I'm like, how this feels so insane that this is still like, it's 2023 and like that's what we're talking about still. So they gotta move faster with putting these shows out. That's like really bad on Netflix's part. It's just way too long. That it's just is not sustainable, because you finish a show like that, it's like you almost can't even do like a reunion because everybody's doing different things. It's been that long,
right.
So
They've all
they have
far
to fix
moved
that.
on.
I will say I do kind of like the format of the show because they sort of are just letting shit fly. Like, there are rules as far as bringing new people in, but within the house, it's like everybody's drinking, having sex, cursing. Like, it's not, it's more like reality in that sense. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's like a phenomenal show. It's a D plus that I want people to watch, if that makes sense. Daisy Jones and the Six we talked about, but I'll give it a grade. I'll give that a B plus for the first 3 episodes. I'm very excited to continue watching that. It's really
Did they
good. I
release?
highly recommend you watch.
I watched the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I liked it. I fell asleep.
Oh, you should watch. Yes,
I'm gonna
They
watch.
released
watched
the first 3.
First 3, and then new ones out on Friday now.
Okay.
I just like it's tough when it's weekly. Like,
What was tough for me to wrap my head around with that show is that it's not a real band. And it's
Yeah.
not based on a real band. Like,
but like just
no, I know.
Loosely on Fleetwood Mac.
is
Oh,
it?
really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, I didn't.
I mean, not like 100%, but
I mean, I
she
can
got
see
the inspiration
yeah.
from Fleetwood Mac to
Okay.
write the story.
all right. That helps.
Yeah.
Just watching it, I was like, and I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
I like I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I just fell asleep. But I was like, man, I wish this was a real band.
Yeah. That's fair. I think they're going to be a real band.
Are
I
they?
think there's rumors that they're like going to tour.
That would
They
be a
put
good-
they put an album out.
That
for
would be
the
a good
song
idea. Well,
for-
yeah, because they had to
They had
write
to-
real songs
yeah,
for the
Yeah.
so then they
Yeah.
did turn into a real
That would be
band.
awesome if, like, imagine you're an actor, you have to learn how to, and then you're just touring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daisy Jones is such a good name.
Great name.
I love the name Daisy.
Daisy's a very cute
Do you
name.
name your kid Daisy?
Potentially.
It wouldn't work with the other name. you had
Yeah.
planned
Yeah. I've thought about that.
because
Yeah, no, don't.
What do you but like
Don't.
are you gonna stick in that for all of the kids you have?
No.
wait, now I'm just thinking
No.
about what the combo would be.
I know it's bad. Whatever.
Well, I'm not gonna say it, but I'm just gonna show you a picture and people can be mad at me.
I understand exactly
for-
what it is. I trust me. I've had this thought the other day because I said I like the name Daisy. Yes. I like the name Daisy, and then I
Yeah.
thought, oh, I can't do that if I want to name my. But then
People are gonna guess from what
I know.
from saying
But
Daisy.
I love that name, but I've also had thoughts about it recently, like being like, when they apply for a job when they get older, like how's that gonna look? I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. But it's a cute name in my opinion. But anyways, yes,
Okay.
I do like the name Daisy.
I recommend. I did really like the first 3 episodes. I talked about it with Kelly. I'm trying to think. Shrinking. the last episode I watched. I enjoyed it. I'll give it an A-. I forget what number episode that is.
I think it's 7.
7, yeah. I haven't watched Sex Life yet because I've been
did.
preoccupied with, whoa.
I was going to say, that might take you by surprise. but
Whoa, take it easy, man.
That was like, that's the first thing I watched.
No, it's not. I actually
Woo-wee, season 2 Sex Life.
I
Season 2 of Sex Life,
contemplated
yes.
leaving it off my list. But I was like, I just got to be honest with the people. Because I was like, oh, that's kind of weird.
Why
you were-
did you
you were
watch
gonna-
the first season?
I think I might not
You
have
were
finished
gonna
it, but
leave it off your list as if you were hiding porn from us.
that is what I was going to do.
Well, there's no way he's giving it a good grade because it's the show is
Yeah, honestly, it's
insane.
not as bad. Like it was like it. I wasn't paying attention so much. Like I was more like background type stuff, but like it kind of is engaging a little bit. Like I was like following along.
I mean,
like,
sex sells.
but it's not. This season is not as like much as into the sex. It's more.
He's like, I put it on for nothing.
No, it's not. It's like if you watch.
I'm excited. I'm gonna finish Perfect Match and then start that is where I'm going with that.
Wait, what did you give? Sex?
New Jersey.
Oh, you didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. Real Housewives of New Jersey was kind of a meh episode. I don't really love like the screaming at each other only goes so far in my mind. Like Margaret and Jennifer screaming at each other was getting to be a lot. So I don't really have a grade for that, and neither do I. Don't really have a grade for Summer House either. We're kind of like in that early stages of a season where it's like we're waiting for things to spice up a little bit. I'm waiting for the Lindsay and Danielle drama to start for Summer House. The Voice, brand new season. I'm not gonna give a grade, but I recommend because we got new coaches, Niall and Chance the Rapper, and it's Blake's last season coaching. So a farewell to Blake. But I love you. Everyone knows that you guys know I love The Voice, so I was happy to have it come back. And I love Niall. I think and Chance the Rapper's really good too, and Kelly Clarkson. She's the best. And I think that is The Last of Us, episode 8. Phenomenal
Wait, was that
episode.
episode 8 or episode 7?
8, because this week's 9, and that's the last one.
What a weird number that it's 9, not like 8 or 10.
Yeah, it's 9. Episode 8, great episode. It was a solid A. Well made. When I saw the preview, I was like, I don't know where this is going. This seems like we're losing track of the story here, which we may still be. I don't know how they're going to wrap it all up in one episode for 9. They probably won't. But 8, like as a standalone episode, phenomenal. So good. Bella Ramsey, so good. His line to her at the end of the episode, made me tear up. It was just A episode. Very good. And I think now that is everything that I watched.
Rhea?
No, you can go.
Okay. But do you have anything or no?
You go.
You go.
Okay. Usually I'm last, so that's why.
Yeah, I wanted to go last this
did
time.
you hear her at the beginning? She goes, you guys go.
Okay. Yeah, I watched Daisy Jones and the Six, and I love anything that's music related.
Yeah.
So I'll give the first 3 a B-. I like it. It's a little corny at times, which is fine. Honestly, I told my parents to watch it, and my dad hated it, and I was like, what?
Interesting.
Yeah, which I was like, well, I don't know why, but I like it. I enjoy it. And
I love a strong reaction no matter what
Yeah.
it is. Though, the fact that he hated it,
yeah,
right.
he hated it.
I would love to know
Which
why.
is interesting. What did he give a reason? He just thought it was bad?
Yeah, he just thought it was I mean, probably just corny and
Yeah. I mean, it's not. Yeah, I guess. I don't really. It's corny to me. Just doesn't bother me. Corny. For a show like that, it's supposed to.
No,
be
yeah,
kinda
that's
corny.
what I'm trying to. But yeah, so I'll give that a B-. I watched The Last of Us. Oh, so this is The Last of Us. Are you sure it was episode 7? I mean 8.
It's 8. Yes.
Okay, because I had it down as 7.
Well, that's wrong.
Okay, well I'll give it a B+. I thought it was a great episode too. Way better than the last couple before that. Even though I do feel like nothing is really the story. I'm we're not moving that much farther. We only have one.
Well, I
episode
know
left.
that's why.
Yeah.
Did you watch the preview for 9?
Yeah.
I was they were it was just the two of them being all right, we're really gonna do this, and they're yeah, we're doing it. So it's I don't know. I'm guessing it maybe ends
Yeah.
in a cliffhanger type way. I don't know.
Watched Shrinking episode 7. Also, I like that a lot more than the
Let's
past
also
couple.
remember that I don't know how long episode 9 could be. It could be like a 2-hour episode.
Yeah.
You know how they love doing that shit.
Shrinking episode 7. I like this one a lot more than the ones before it. I'll give that a B+. Mm-hmm. Hello Tomorrow episode 5. C+. Like, it's kind of losing
you.
Have you guys ever heard of the show Accused?
No.
It's on Hulu. It's like each episode's just a one-off, and it just centers around someone being accused of something, and then they like show the whole story play out. Pretty good. I watched like a few different episodes of it. I'll give that a C+. And then I watched Sex Life season 2, and I'll give that a C. Not terrible, and like not as much sex this season.
Damn, no, I was more sex. F.
No, but like it's interesting, and they definitely.
Did you watch the whole? How many episodes did you watch?
I watched the whole season.
You watched the whole season?
Yeah.
How many episodes is it?
8.
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay.
He was locked in.
No, I wasn't locked in. Okay.
Clearly locked in.
No,
There's
I was
nothing
like
to be ashamed of.
No, I'm not ashamed. I'm just saying like it wasn't like I was like, oh, let me turn. It's like it's what I do where I'm like I gotta edit or I'm working.
Everybody
or I'm
has something that tickles their fancy.
yeah.
I see it like that's the first thing that pops up on Netflix.
Yeah.
I go, why not? Watch Sex Life.
Give it a shot. Sex Life. Yep. I feel you.
And so that's it.
I actually forgot that I did watch for the first time ever over the weekend. Fight Club.
Really?
It's the first time ever.
Never seen it.
Really?
Watched it.
What sparked?
Not for me.
You didn't like it?
I didn't really love it.
Why did you watch it?
I told you, remember I'm like Joe and I are like going
has
through
he seen
movies
it?
that he has seen that I haven't seen, and like we did White Men Can't Jump and we just did Fight Club.
You didn't like it, huh?
Not really.
Did you like? What about?
Like I got
wait.
like it's cool. Like it was cool, and it was like
Rhea,
I
you've
was
seen
very
it?
engaged.
Yeah, a long time ago.
I was
though.
very engaged the whole
about the
time.
twist?
But yeah, no, like it's a good.
Were you like, oh,
Yeah, but it just, I don't know. It just still was like a little too out there for me. On
What
like
did you
that.
give it?
Or the twist, I would say. It's like a B. I mean, it's a good, like it's
that's
a
peak
pretty
Brad
good-
Pitt.
it's an objectively very good movie. Like I can respect that it's a very good movie, and I liked
But
it.
not your personal favorite.
But if I'm going on just like my personal taste, meh. But like I know it's a good movie. Like if I was gonna give it like a critical rating, I'm like that's a good movie. I just
can respect that.
wouldn't like rewatch it.
I haven't seen it
Yeah.
recent enough to give it a correct grading.
Yeah.
I remember watching it when I was a lot younger, like when my parents watched it, and I was like on the couch and don't.
I
really,
can't
like-
imagine doing that. I was confused at 28 watching
Yeah,
it.
that's
That's
why
a
I don't
solid,
really
like,
have an
A or A
accurate.
minus for me.
You should rewatch it and see what you think because
Yeah.
I kind of think that it was like I can't imagine watching it younger. I don't think I would have understood it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I watched this week was Vanderpump on Wednesday night.
Oh, I did watch that also. I forgot
And
about that.
let me tell you, Vanderpump this season is appointment television now, week to week, because
You're
now you are
analyzing everything
analyzing
they say.
every
Yeah.
single thing they
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
And man, it is crazy. It is
So crazy.
crazy watching Raquel and Tom just in general. It's wild. Like, oh my God, Raquel should be an actress. The way that she may have a career in acting with the way she was hiding this shit.
Yeah.
Holy, and the way that Ariana is like,
Talking about her, I put that on my story. I was like, oh my God.
Ariana's talking
Rooting
about
for
her.
her. She's like,
rooting
yeah,
for her.
Raquel, get out there.
Yeah, like,
oh, she's fucking sleeping with your boyfriend.
and Raquel's like trying on bikinis for Vegas in front of Ariana, and Ariana's like, you look great. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even, oh my God, I have chills. Like, can't even fathom it.
know, it's crazy.
It's wild. So that was the only new thing that I watched.
My favorite line was Christina.
But I plan on watching a lot this weekend.
My favorite line was Christina Kelly being like, everyone says Raquel is like a baby, but that's an insult to babies.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a good line.
It's pretty crazy. But it's Vanderpump's appointment television
yeah,
this season.
It is.
And I mean, I'm sure we're excited for
Can
the
I
rest
just
of the
put
season.
Shrinking at the top of your list for this weekend if you are watching new stuff?
Shrinking is at the top of my
Okay.
list.
And maybe like,
Shrinking, Daisy Jones.
yeah.
A couple things are at
There's
the
some
top
good
of my
stuff.
list.
Okay, good.
But yes, I did not. I'm sounding such like a snob, but I'm not meaning to. I fucking love sitting around watching TV, but I was like,
You were sick this week.
I was in Florida, and I also was like sleeping a lot because I had the stomach virus and like throwing up. And so like Marty just had the TV on and I would like fall in and out. Well, that's why I mean, like we put on Daisy Jones and I was watching it and then I fell asleep within 10 minutes. So like whatever, but I don't plan on doing anything this weekend because I have a big week next week.
Yeah.
We are going to the Jonas Brothers on Tuesday, which is so exciting. I'm so freaking pumped up for that.
Excited too.
And then it's Marty's brother is getting married. So it's like a whole week of like festivities. So we're planning on doing nothing this weekend so we can fully prepare for next week. So I'm going to do a lot of TV watching this weekend. And that is all the things we watched this week.
Rhea, I don't know about you, but I have been to a Topgolf, and I think I got to take you to one.
I'm trying to get to one.
They're so much fun. I went with a group of people to the one in New Jersey when I was at home. It's also like kind of driving down to the shore. It's sort of on the way. Sometimes you would stop, but Topgolf is so much fun. It doesn't matter if you golf or you don't golf. Everyone can play Topgolf, even if your entire group can't golf. Honestly, sometimes that makes it more fun because everybody's just having a good time, enjoying. You know,
don't
it's
need somebody who's showing off.
Yeah, exactly. Topgolf is the only place you can play a round and then order another or hit a slice and then grab a slice. It's all the fun of outside, but with the comforts of inside. Comfy heated bays in the winter and cooled bays in the summer. So it's a great place for all your friends to hang out. Like, I know a lot of times you're with your group of friends and you're trying to think of like an activity to do and something that's social, but you want to do it all as a big group and that they can fit your whole party. Well, that's Topgolf. It's golf. It's not golf. It's Topgolf. So download the app and book a bay and come play around. All you have to do, like I said, is download the app for Topgolf and you can book a bay and come play around.
So we just talked briefly about Vanderpump. More things come out every single day, obviously. TMZ reported that Raquel did, send in those photos of herself and her
temporary restraining order.
Yeah, it's a order of protection, which is different than a restraining order, I believe. And I'm not exactly sure which one she did, but I thought it was an order of protection. I'm gonna have to double check that. They're two different things. Order of protection and restraining order are two different things for sure. But TMZ posted the pictures of her black eye. She's a little cut, a little bruising it may seem.
Yeah.
And apparently Sheena said
a judge granted Raquel a temporary restraining order after she claimed her castmate Sheena attacked her last Thursday in NYC.
Okay, temporary restraining order.
Sheena, according to docs obtained by TMZ, Sheena allegedly shoved Raquel against a brick wall and punched her in the left eye. Look, I'm seeing the pictures. It's visual. I can see it, right? Like you can see the bruise. Now, I did see some guy on Instagram try and insinuate that these were old pictures. That would be wild. I don't really know if that's a rabbit hole. That's a real rabbit hole to go down. But like Sheena, I don't know. Maybe she can. I just can't imagine like Sheena doing that kind of damage.
Why not? I could. Like, it doesn't matter how big or small. If you have that fire in you,
I guess just size-wise, Raquel's so much taller than her.
Right. It doesn't matter though. If you have that rage in you, if you have that fire in you, you could do anything to anybody. I firmly believe that. I believe that Sheena has that in her. I think she's got that fire in her because it's like a little pit bull. Like, small person can have a lot of rage, and if in that moment you are so pissed off, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, Sheena, in the reports, it said Sheena said she would do it again. So I think Sheena 100% did do this.
Yeah.
And I'm not really gonna fault Sheena.
Sheena also liked the pictures of the guy that I saw on Instagram claiming that they were old. Pictures. Sheena liked that.
I think the cut could be. I think the cut's real because the cut could be from Sheena has long nails.
Yeah.
So maybe she hit her, cut her in the eye, and but Sheena had Ariana's back, and I could imagine if you are that mad and something just comes over you.
Yeah, I'm just selfishly, I just really hope that this doesn't come into play for them filming a reunion, which is supposed to be in like 2.5 weeks, Sandy said, is when they're supposed to film this reunion. And if Raquel uses this as a way to not have to film in person, like that's going to be really fucking annoying. Like I think Andy will actually, I know it's not what I would want because Sheena deserves to be there, but like have like some separation or like take Sheena away for some things. Like they have to make it work. There's no way she cannot get out of this.
She can't.
She cannot get out of doing
and
this
if she
reunion.
gets out of this doing this reunion, she should be fired.
Yeah,
Like
not gonna
no, straight up. If they're if she's not gonna do the reunion, they should be like, oh, you're not gonna participate in your job.
Yeah.
Then you're not on next season.
Yeah,
and
both
I think
her and
Raquel
Tom
wants to be on next season.
Yeah, both her and Tom have released more statements that are clearly not written by either of them. And it's just very like,
because this is the kind
Raquel's
of thing
like trying to do this like, I know I'm not a victim, like I need to take time to like heal now, and I realize like what I did was wrong and blah 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 blah. But it's just like, I'm like, you did not those are not your words.
This is the kind of thing though where some are saying, like Raquel shouldn't be on Vanderpump. Like, no, we need Raquel on Vanderpump though, because this is what makes a good show. You know what I'm saying?
Especially
like,
if she decides she's gonna be
right,
if she and Tom are actually gonna be together.
This is what makes a good reality show. It's fucked up, but this is what makes a good reality show. But if you're not gonna show up for the reunion, then you're not doing your job, Raquel.
No.
But they have to figure something out. Sheena might have to zoom in. It's gonna be bullshit if Raquel just zooms in and then everyone's screaming at her over Zoom.
No.
Like that's just gonna be silly. But I could see Raquel trying to do that. She's basically saying, like I'm not a victim, but here's like every reason why I should be painted as one.
Yeah.
And she said, she cares for Tom, but there's also rumors that she's not answering Tom and Tom doesn't know where she is. I kind of find that hard to believe.
But they definitely did film together.
They kissed.
Yeah.
They filmed together. That's going to be wild to watch, them kissing on camera. Oh my God. And I would like to say that.
And apparently Sandoval wanted to reshoot it.
Yeah.
Because he did. He thought that Entertainment Tonight said he thought it like didn't make him look good. He wanted to reshoot it, and production was like, we're not doing that. And he was like, well, then I'm not going to film.
I had known what was happening with Vanderpump this season, but I wasn't fully caught up on the episodes. And I fully caught up on them last night on the plane because they were playing all of them. And it is wild that, because when you hear Sheena tell the story about Katie saying, no, it's okay, like tell Tom to move on, tell him to hook up with Raquel, you think, oh, okay, then if that's how it went, that's fine, that's how it should be. It's wild that the same night Katie was crying, being like, you guys are making me wildly uncomfortable, Raquel went and asked Tom to make out. Like that was all in the same night. Like, at least give it some time. Like that, I was like, damn, like that was all on the same night. I didn't really pick up on that. They didn't make out that night, but I didn't pick up on Katie freaking out that night and then Raquel asking Tom to make out in that same night. Like I thought these events had all happened like in a different timeline, I guess. So it's wild. There more news comes out every single day. I'm sure this is going to happen for a while until all the episodes come out.
Yeah, well, every week it'll be crazy to watch like what they are saying, and especially when the drama does turn on Ariana and Tom.
Do you think there's a part of Tom where he's like a little happy and like Raquel where they're like getting all this attention, or no?
Totally.
Because I've seen pictures of Tom where he looks like he's smiling and just having like walking down the street smiling.
Totally. Well, they've been saying that he hasn't really been showing any remorse, and that he like is ready to spin this whole like it was like Ariana was not, we were not in a good place in our relationship, like that, blaming stuff on Ariana. But
being not in a good place versus being split up is very different.
Extremely different. Extremely, extremely different. So yeah, Andy kind of said it. He was like, I don't really want to make any distinct answers talking on his radio show, because he's like, I'm sure like things are gonna change. They're changing so much every day. Lisa Vanderpump was on Watch What Happens Live, and honestly, she didn't really say too much. Like it was just like, oh, she's so surprised, like shocked this happened, and you can condemn their actions, but don't condemn the people. And I mean, I like Lisa Vanderpump when she's on Watch What Happens Live. Like I would have loved, like put Lala and like Schwartz, or like do a random combo or somebody and put them on Watch What Happens Live, where they're like actually gonna like get some tea or actually talk about anything.
Yeah.
Lisa's just, she's not really in, it's her show, but she's not really involved.
She
in
probably
any
doesn't
of
even
it.
know much.
Yeah.
Jax is going to be on. Brittany and Jax are going to be on Watch What Happens Live.
Are they though? Like, I know he posted that, but like, it's not anywhere. Like, an Andy
Maybe
or
he-
Watch What Happens Live like hasn't posted anything
Maybe
about
he
that.
meant, maybe they'll be bartenders, or maybe he meant he's just going to the show. Maybe he's just going to be as an audience
I
member.
don't know. I don't know. Waiting on that to see if that is actually something.
But
that's
either
happening.
way, more stuff keeps coming out Vanderpump every single day.
it's
Wild to
exactly.
watch
It's
it unfold.
always changing.
The Kardashians allegedly, very alleged, were not invited to the Met Gala this year, but then other sources are saying that that's not true. They were invited. I can't imagine a world where they're not invited. They are there every single year. Last year was the first year they were all there together. It's the first year that every single one of them was there. So I just can't imagine that's true. I can't imagine
Neither
they
can
wouldn't
I.
be invited.
Neither can I. I feel like this story comes around every year. Kind of. Where
feel
it's
like
like rumors like, oh, they're not going, or like blah, blah, blah doesn't want Kim there, or like some kind of story like this comes out. And then they're always there. Like Anna Wintour is not, like if Kim wants to go and she's like the new face of Dolce & Gabbana now, like if Dolce & Gabbana are going to dress her and she's going to go, they're not going to, she's, what? Like, what are we talking about? She's not going to be, she's not going to be told you are not allowed to go to the Met Gala.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that whoever, bad source, because the Kardashians are always at the Met Gala.
Yeah.
What will be interesting to
This
see
just felt like kind of clicky.
is if Bad Bunny will be going to the Met Gala, because we all know Kendall Jenner goes every year, and if Kendall Jenner there and Bad Bunny's there, who knows? Because they were seen kissing, canoodling.
Well, they weren't kissing.
It looked like they were kissing,
They were,
though.
but there's no mouth to mouth.
You
They're
don't
very
know that
close.
was from the back.
Yeah, but you can see Kendall's lips. Like you can see.
In one of the pictures I saw, though, you only saw her hand around his neck.
And nothing else.
And only the back of his head and her hand around him.
I feel like maybe I didn't see all the hugging on back. I don't know. This one. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You don't know you can't really tell for sure though. She has her her hand around his neck. But might not be a confirmed smooch. Like TMZ wrote, we can't see the lip lock, but both her hands are around his neck.
We're gonna say this isn't kissing?
The way one typically does while kissing.
Yeah, come on.
I'm just saying, I can't 100% say with confidence they're kissing in this picture. I can't see it. They're very close.
Yeah, but that's like, I don't know. That to me, they're
kissing.
They're kissing. in that photo, to me, they are kissing.
Yeah.
Now, I may be wrong, but that looks like kissing to me.
And they're leaving that sushi place in that strip mall that's across from where we stay.
Yeah, a popular place.
Yeah, it always is. Sushi, what is it called? Sushi Park? Right? Am I making that up? Sushi Park.
Yeah, in West Hollywood.
So this is a real thing.
I got no problem with it.
Neither do I actually really like this couple.
Like,
A big fan, I would say.
do your thing.
A little part of me did kind of hope that maybe there would be something rekindled with Harry Styles. But, he's a busy man. And he is, so is Bad Bunny, but
If I had to assume,
mid-tour.
I
Two
would
of
guess
the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah.
I would assume Bad Bunny and Kendall are fling, and so I would assume that it'll fizzle out, and maybe she'll have time with Harry when he's done touring.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's just a good
What?
pairing.
You think?
Yeah, I do. I think it's a good pairing for
I know nothing
Kendall.
about Bad Bunny, so
I think it's a fun pairing.
Yeah.
It just seems like a fun little fling, fun little time.
Exactly.
Sexy fling.
Kendall can get whoever she wants. I'm sure Bad Bunny can as well. So
So naturally they found each other.
naturally you gravitate towards each
has
other.
Bad Bunny ever had like a public relationship?
No, his relationship status has been always unclear.
Remember
because
I
people
talked
said
about
that he
it
was
last
in
time?
an open relationship.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was
He had
dating
like a
someone for
girlfriend
a
for like
year.
5 years or something.
Yeah. Cara Delevingne talked about those pictures that came out last year where she looked very unwell and people were worried about her state looked like she was on drugs, you know,
Yeah.
acting out.
Big Vogue interview.
And people were really worried about Cara Delevingne at that time. The videos were crazy at the time. It was like, what is happening? But apparently she had a big wake-up call.
Yeah,
she
checked herself into rehab.
Suffers from addiction and is now sober.
This was great to see because I do remember we talked about this when it was like that red carpet where she was in the back of all those pictures with, was it Lizzo?
It was Meg Thee Stallion.
Meg Thee Stallion.
I think it was Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah. And then it was just like incident after incident where we were kind of,
and everyone was like, no, it's just Cara Delevingne.
No, it was definitely, it was enough where we were like, ooh, I just hope she is able to get help if that's what she needs at the time.
And the pictures of her wearing the Britney shirt, the paparazzi pictures, and she was like,
and it does seem that is the case. And now she is 4 months sober. She talked about those pictures. She called them a reality check. She's like, seeing those things like really were a reality check for me, that I needed to get my shit figured out. And it looks like she did that. So she talked about how it's had a lot of ups and downs. She said, people want my story to be this after school special where I just say, oh, look, I was an addict and now I'm sober and that's it. And it's not as simple as that. It doesn't just happen overnight. Of course, I want things to be instant. I think this generation especially, we want things to happen quickly, but I've had to dig deep. She checked herself into rehab late last year after all those pictures. She said that the photos were a source of overwhelming shame and a wake-up call. She said, I hadn't slept. It's heartbreaking because I thought I was having fun, but at some point I was like, okay, I don't look well. Sometimes you need a reality check. So in a way, those pictures were something to be grateful for. And I think she just kind of said, like, in the moment, like, she just felt like she was having fun. Like, it was just, she couldn't tell that it was a problem. Mm-hmm. So I guess maybe being able to actually, like, have someone show her what that looked like.
Yeah.
It was eye-opening for her.
Right. I think it was a really great update from her. I think everybody had been wondering for a while what happened, because then quickly after that, she was seen on a red carpet looking great, and everyone was like, what a comparison. Like,
yeah.
This was such a dark look for her, and then all of a sudden she did a 180. But I'm happy to hear, because clearly she was suffering.
Absolutely. So only good things, hopefully, for her.
Yes. All right, one more thing before we wrap up this show. What's your one more thing?
Can you go first?
Sure. Don't you guys find it wild, and I don't know how true this is, that Angelina Jolie hired somebody...
Is more famous. No.
Angelina Jolie hired somebody to kill her because she wanted to commit suicide, but she didn't want to actually do it. So she hired somebody to kill her, and the hitman told her, I'm going to give you a certain amount of days. If you don't call me in this amount of time, I'm going to do it. But if you don't want it to happen, call me up and tell me not to do it. Because he knew, like, she didn't, he gave her the time to be like, you don't actually want this.
Where did you
I
hear
did not
this?
know that story.
You didn't know that?
No, where did you hear this?
It was just like something I saw. Like, I had remember hearing about it years ago.
It's like confirmed.
I don't know if it's confirmed. It's just a story that I think she may have talked about. Like,
how was he gonna do it? Like shoot her? Like
I mean, I don't know. He's a hitman. It's like one of those stories that has never been on like a real credible news outlet, but it has been on
now.
But it has been on multiple news outlets.
It's been on a lot, but it's I wouldn't exactly say they're New York Times. Like it's
she admitted that she hired a hitman and told her to think about it and call him again in 2 months, and then something changed in her life and she was like, I don't. She just didn't want to actually kill herself because of like her family and everything. So she was going to hire a hitman.
That is so weird if that's true. Like I'm reading this, like it says, I don't know if any of this is real, but with suicide comes all the guilt of people around you thinking they could have done something. With somebody being murdered, however, nobody takes some kind of guilty responsibility. Like, So people are going to think you were murdered?
I guess it was an interview she did with the Face. And it was
what's the Face?
And she did an interview, and they asked, "How did you find a hitman?" A journalist for the Face casually asked Angelina Jolie in August 2003. So this story was in August 2003, and she said they're not that hard to find in New York.
He was a decent enough person and asked if I could think about it and call him again. He was a decent enough person, but he's a hitman?
She hired a contract killer and was all set for her final exit. Her plan was to take out cash over a certain amount of time, so there wasn't a big chunk in my bank account to pay him. Then the unthinkable happened. The hitman talked her out of it. He was a decent enough person and asked if I could think about it and call again in 2 months.
Yeah, thank God for that. Hitman with a conscience.
Isn't that wild? I feel like that story really flies under the radar.
I've never heard of that.
And also just an insane story. Like she was gonna hire a hitman to kill her, and then was like, changed my mind.
I wonder how he would have done it. Like,
Wow,
are you looking over your shoulder?
It's a hitman.
That's pretty wild.
Also, what if he showed up with a gun? Is she gonna be like, here we go? Or is she like, no? Don't
I'm
do it.
sure he would do it. It wouldn't be him exactly. A hitman
Be like
has
a poison.
A hitman has people. I think a hitman has hitmen. I think that's how it goes. If you directly contact a hitman, he's got other hitmen. They're in a group.
How do you find a hitman? She's like, it's pretty easy. Just go on Craigslist.
I think in New York City, probably could find one.
I don't think I could find one. What would my first action be
oh my goodness, an ad is
Of finding one?
Who would I reach out to? Hey, you know any good hitmen around
No
here?
idea, but apparently it's easy to find in New York.
I guess if you're that famous.
Yeah, I think I would find someone who does drugs and then ask them to ask their drug dealer. I feel like drug dealers know hitmen. Where's my money? Pay up. Or a bookie. Something like that.
I'm with you. I also have. I don't know where.
I don't know.
I don't know where I would go.
There's a lot of drug
I'm
dealers.
thinking movies. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking movies. When are hitmen involved? Drugs, money.
I feel like it has to be on dark web or something. I don't
Yeah.
There's plenty of drug dealers who are just selling weed.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of drug dealers that are selling weed, but there's also plenty of drug dealers that are selling hard drugs
Yeah.
that are owed a lot of money and are bad people.
Yeah, but some of them are good people.
Some of them are
will
good.
convince you to not.
Some
kill
of them,
yourself.
some hitmen. So the moral of the
Wild.
story is some hitmen are good.
Wild.
Find yourself a good hitman.
Yeah.
If you're looking.
If you're looking for a hitman out there, find yourself one with a
Yeah.
good moral compass. That's my one thing.
That's very random.
I was kind of in
it.
between a few things, and I think I'll just go with this. That I saw this New York Post article, and it just kind of made me think about New York. But it says influencers, the headline is influencers are fleeing NYC in droves. It's, quote, the loneliest place. And it cites 3 people, which is really not exactly proving that they're fleeing in droves. So it was a little bit misleading, but they cited Paige Lorenz, who moved from New York to Connecticut.
Yep.
And the Victoria Paris, who also moved out of New York. Mm-hmm. And then a couple others as well, talking about it just being so lonely.
And what, Connecticut's not?
Another TikToker said, no, Paige didn't say that. A TikToker, Callie Wilson, said it's the loneliest feeling place. It's the loneliest feeling places she's ever been. So she told the New York Post that she thought New York would be this fun, magical place where finding friends is easy as breathing. As it turns out, New York would actually make her feel lonelier. It's weird because it seems like it should be easy to make friends in a big city and meet people and go on dates. But she said she felt so lonely there the entire time. It's interesting because I just feel like sometimes when people are talking about New York, it's just in extremes. It's either oh, New York, it's terrible. You got to get out of there. Or people are screaming from the rooftops how amazing New York is. When really it's just somewhere in between. And not everybody is going to love New York.
I agree. I could relate to my initial reaction is like, oh, New York lonely, that doesn't make sense. But when I was really anxious and depressed living in an apartment in New York City, I felt very lonely.
That's why I think it's a personal.
Yes, because but you know that there is so much going on outside of your doors. So I think it's a feeling of, wow, there's so much going on outside my doors, but I am so alone. Like, I'm not hanging out with anybody. I'm not doing the things that I see everybody on the street walking to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're out to dinner. They're going to this club. They're going to this party. They're going to that. But I am alone in my apartment.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where the loneliness could come in, where it's like, if you're in the suburbs somewhere, you're not seeing people constantly. So when you're alone in your house,
Right.
you don't feel as alone. Does that make sense?
I
Am
guess,
No,
but
and I absolutely understand what you're saying. I just think like, and I definitely have seen more people and influencers talking about leaving New York, and maybe it will be a trend for people to leave, or like Paige Lorenz said, I think that we're going to see a lot of younger people investing their money in homes instead of spending all their money on rent, stuff like that, which is very true. I mean, if we want to go that route, it's different, but nope. It's never going to be like New York is never going to be left in the dust.
Never. You'll see people leaving, but you're also going to see people coming. There's always going to be more people coming to New York as much as there is leaving.
Yeah.
Nobody, like, it's not going to come to a point where people are like, yeah, we're done. We're done as a whole renting in New York City.
Like if
there's so many young people that work in New York City.
social media is why people feel like lonely. Like if you move to Connecticut, you're still going to see all the people online. Like
Right. There's a
out.
whole mixture of reasons why people feel lonely. But I think the hustle and bustle, if you are not a part of that hustle and bustle, you'll feel lonely. You'll be like, why am I not doing what they're doing?
Picture like if you're in LA, like I feel like it'd almost be worse. Like harder to make friends. Like
I don't know. It's
Depends on the person,
yeah.
too.
I think it's different for a lot of people. I do think a lot of people are afraid to leave New York, in a sense of like and I think maybe that's just me, because I feel like that sometimes where I'm like, I mean I love New York, but then I'm like, what could I potentially like living somewhere else better? I've never lived anywhere else. Like I don't know.
well, it's like weird. Like when I went to Montana, I'm like, wow, like it's cool to be here, but I cannot live somewhere this tiny.
Yeah.
Like it's in one street.
Right.
Like, that's it.
I mean, so like Victoria Paris, she said, I feel like being a New Yorker is not just a location, but an identity. It was really hard for me to accept that I could be happier elsewhere. And that like kind of made me think, I've never really
San
thought
Diego.
about like, because like I think I just have a fear of leaving New York.
Well, when you've been here your whole life.
I don't have I guess, well, I enjoy where I live now, in Jersey, like Hoboken, Jersey City. I love that area more than I enjoyed New York City, just because like you still have that feeling a little bit, but not as much. Like I didn't love living in New York
The
City.
West Village, when you lived
No,
there.
I just didn't love living in New York City in general. I don't know what it was about it. I just really like, this is gonna sound crazy, but like just that too many energies. Like there's just a lot going on. So I like the feeling of like being a little bit outside of New York City, but I still go out in the city a lot on the weekends, and like Hoboken's fun. Like I like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I always say like, oh, I want to move to Florida, whatever. But every time I visit Florida, I'm like, this is nice to visit, but not sure I want to live here yet. You know, like later in life, but not now, because I agree with you. Like it's a fear of the unknown. Of,
and I guess
knowing everybody here and being here your whole life. It's kind of like
and I guess they're also kind of like relating it to the influencer life too. And it's like, oh, you're in New York and you are like, you're an influencer and you feel like you have to be at every single event, or if you're not at something, you're missing out, or you know, you should be at something that you're not at. So I understand that too, because it just kind of feels like, oh my God, I'm in the busiest city. Like my job is to show people like what I'm doing and what I'm wearing and who I'm doing it with. Like, how can I do that somewhere else? But I just thought it was kind of interesting, because I do feel like a lot more people are kind of talking about leaving New York. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily in droves, like this headline.
Yeah, it's not like
this headline says.
Hundreds
but
flocking.
I do feel like I see more and more people on TikTok being like, I'm kind of thinking about going somewhere else. But I also think COVID did a lot of that. Like,
True.
so
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
it's way better now than it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not bad to bounce around. People can always come back.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yep, exactly. Well, that was my one more thing.
All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Make sure you guys are subscribing on our YouTube. We love you. Thank you so much for subscribing if you have already. Thank you for listening to our show. We appreciate you guys so much. We love you, and we'll talk to you on Monday.